My name is Teresa Ombeo and I'm the president for the Graduate Students in African Studies. Today is the D-Day for the 11th annual Indiana University Conference on Africa, and we're more than excited to be hosting you here at Indiana Memorial Union. We hope to have a lot of interdisciplinary and intellectual conversations throughout the sessions for the next 2 days. We hope to make this memorable and see you all. It has taken a lot of collaboration, patience, and a lot of teamwork among students and even faculty in the African Studies program department, as well as different sponsors who have trusted us with their funds and supported us to put this together through either some kind of in-kind contributions, collaborations, as well as funds, and we really appreciate that.
I see a lot of portraits from the African figures. Tell me about what went into that. What was the idea behind the portraits?
So the idea behind the portraits is to just showcase as well as recognize the different amazing people who are doing or have done things in Africa that have left a mark up to date. So some are not here with us who have already passed on, and some are also young upcoming leaders that we want to recognize and also show people that even the young nations in Africa are producing a lot of remarkable people for the world.
How many guests are you expecting today for the
We are
conference?
expecting about 100 to 120 guests.
Wow, that's a record.
Within the 2 days, yeah. Yeah, that's a record. And we really appreciate
the voices, ideas, and perspectives from across the globe, all centered on the dynamic, complex, and ever-evolving field of African studies. As we open this gathering, let us take a moment to acknowledge the land we are on and the ancestral spirits whose presence still lingers. Let us also recognize Africa not just as a place, but as a living history, a continent whose deep past offers us powerful insights into our present and hopeful visions for the future. This conference is more than an academic event. It is a reminder of the importance and relevance of African studies in today's world. Africa's story is not a single narrative. It is made up of many voices. Voices of resilience, creativity, struggle, growth, and triumph. And today, those voices echo through your work, your research, and your presence here. You, our presenters, panelists, and attendees, bring with you a wealth of knowledge, experience, and curiosity. This is a space where we challenge ideas, ask difficult questions, not too difficult though, and also listen deeply. Whether you are a seasoned scholar or just starting your academic journey, your contribution is valuable and your voice matters. Throughout the conference, we will explore themes that reflect the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals based on issues like climate change, gender equality, peace, and justice.
I'm setting up. I'm going to sing a song. Not all of it, some of it. Odokasa brofoi. Odokasa brofunamiti. Odokasa brofu. Odokasa brofunamiti. Those of you who speak Akan, you know what I'm singing about. All right, now this is a song of the 70s. The woman by the name Vida Rose, you know, her husband returned from England, and then she began to sing, and this was actually recorded as a song. You know, the love of my life, speak English that I may hear. Why speak English? Why, Brofo? Why not speak Akan that I may hear you? Was English used as a metaphor for something else? If you brought something new, let me see it. What is language? Now, the Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure says, in talking about language, we should look at it from the point of view of langue and parole. Langue, the concept that we all share, say that as I'm speaking now, you can tell I'm speaking English. It doesn't matter the dialect of English I'm speaking. We all share something about it. And then the parole is the concrete act of speaking. And it's kind of fun as humans, sometimes we cannot equate what we have here with what we say. Noam Chomsky said it best when he said, sometimes we cannot equate competence, with performance, or performance with competence. What I'm going to do today is to talk about the concept of language, the concept of liberty. What is it? We're talking about the Africa we want. What is language? What is liberty? How do the two intersect in development? So that's what I'll be looking at. So let's get started. So what I've done is to structure the lecture. And by the way, let me begin by thanking the African Students Association for inviting me to come and talk. I like talking. I tell people I get paid for talking. When I came to IU 31 years ago, and I was the first black African to be hired by IU. When I came 31 years ago, I was telling my brother, it was kind of interesting because they had what they called accent reduction. You could, your department could pay for you to get rid of your accent. And this was offered, and I turned it down. And I said, as a linguist, if I get rid of my accent, who would I be? I wouldn't be the African I want to be. I'm past 65. In fact, I turned 65 last year. And I've never dreamt speaking in English. I speak in Akan. If I'm going to do anything useful, it's going to be done through Akan. And I'll talk more about that. So I'll look at the concept of language, concept of liberty, and development. I will take an interdisciplinary approach. And I know about the danger of parsimony. I'm not a lawyer, I'll be talking about law. I'm not a political scientist, I'll be talking about politics. I'm not a media expert, but I'll be talking about it. I'm a linguist. Language is my profession. Now, and then I will see how these intersect. In talking about the concept of liberty, there will be a brief discussion and a conclusion. Now, so what is language? Language is first and foremost a cognitive experience. We are born with it. It is innate. There's a blueprint in our brains which help to build what? Building blocks. If you put a child, a normal child from anywhere in the world, in any linguistic situation, that child is going to speak or acquire the language within the ecology in which the child is placed. And so it's very important to me. Language is a cognitive experience. Now, it is situated in the frontal lobe of the brain, what we call the language centers, such that we can tell what language is and what is not language. For example, on the day of Pentecost, I'm going to religion, I teach a class called Language and Religion. On the day of Pentecost, when these guys were gathered, they began to speak in languages that they had not studied. They were speaking human languages. There were people from Persia, from Pamphylia, from Cyrene, which is Libya, from Misr, Egypt, who heard these guys speaking in their languages. And they said, these guys are drunk. And then Peter said, we cannot be drunk. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. This is a prophecy by Joel. But let me not talk about that. At the time, what they were doing was speaking in a language they had not studied. That came from the frontal lobe of the brain. It was language. But then also we have what we call glossolalia, which is a static speech, which is not human language. It doesn't come from the frontal lobe of the brain. It comes from the social center, you know. So it's not language, but you know, people are able to communicate with that also. And we can talk about that later. Language is inventive, you know, as creative. As I stand here, I can produce a sentence that I've never produced before. It's so wonderful to be in this room with these beautiful people, all listening and happy. And I don't even care if someone is sad. I've never said that sentence before, you know. But language is inventive, it's productive, and so we can do that with it.
Well, I am Francis Nyonzo from Tanzania, and I am here in Indiana University for a presentation, of course, just participating in this conference, like communicating and connecting with my fellow African scholars actually, and giving them my ideas on various issues about some economic issues that I know. I am an economist, so I've conducted this paper, which I am here to present it to my fellow African scholars. It is all about the views on how can we improve the African economic system. Yeah.
And you're standing next to this portrait here. You know, what is exciting about this portrait? Tell me.
Well, this is the father of the Tanzania, father of nation. We call him a father of nation.
Mm-hmm.
Is Julius Kambarage Nyerere.
Okay.
He is somebody, I think we can say, I can say like he's an icon of patriotism. When you are in Tanzania reading the Tanzanian history, you cannot forget about Julius Nyerere, a patriotic African son. He has been for his country, not only Tanzania, but for Africa. You know, he has been this, the concept of uniting Africa. This has been his ideas till the time he died. So that's, we have a lot to speak about Nyerere, his economic ideas, political ideas, the way to put politics in a way that we can observe the rule of law, democracy, and all the things. Yeah.
Great. What did you say your name was again?
Francis Nyonzo.
Great.
But I prefer Nyawale Nyonzo.
Pleasure having you. Who am I joined with here?
All right, my name is Comfort, and I'm a language instructor here. In IU, I teach Yoruba language. I'm also a PhD student. I'm in my first year, and my research interest is language education, language policy, and curriculum instruction.
All right. And today, are you an official here at GSAS? Or what are you doing here?
I'm a presenter here at IU GSAS Conference. I'm presenting on language of hardship and the Twitter discourse by the youth.
You're also doubling up as an official for the GSAS.
Yes, I'm the hospitality chair for this conference. I'm part of the planning committee.
So what are people having today? What food have you prepared for the people today?
Okay, I won't open that. It's still in my bag until people see that, but they are going to enjoy themselves.
So far, how do you see the conference going? Do you like it?
Oh, I like this conference, I won't lie to you, because it is well planned. I need to say kudos to the planners of this event. They try their best, and I can see that their best is even good enough.
And this is not the first time you're planning this. People were happy with your food last year. How do you get it so right?
Oh, the thing about planning is this. When you start something, it's not the time that you start crawling that you walk. It's a matter of time. You learn every day. I can say we try to work on all the disadvantages that we encountered last year, and we build on it. And I can see that people are really enjoying themselves.
Wonderful. I'm glad to have you, Comfort, here.
All right.
Enjoy your time.
Enjoy your time. Thank you.